Hello everybody, welcome back to the new video. Sorry if you hear some noises in the background, but that's just how it is. I live in a busy house. So, I don't know if you can see on the top left, but the Jadester is on Twitch. Go follow her, go follow, let me look at the thing. Go follow Swampwater, Corksboo, and Rodgery Plays. Go follow all those people. They're wonderful, they're great streamers. But yeah. So, I know you guys normally know me from the Wings of Dawn uploads, but I thought I'd do the Isle one because it just looks like a lot of good stuff, and I really wanted to cover it. So that's why we're doing this video right now. So sorry if you hear some laughing in the background or name dropping, which should not be happening. Anyway, Philippe, lead programmer. This month I've been mostly focused on new features or pounce on 4 pounds and finishing up some systems before moving on to the new playables. As for pounce, the new slot swap system has I wonder if my mic is catching that airplane. I really hope not. That'd be pretty bad. Or pretty funny. Whichever it is. Where was I? Alright. As for pounds, the new slot swap system is finished, which allows players to manually swap slots when latched to a target by spending some stamina. It can be used to better coordinate with other pouncers or simply be used to avoid being knocked down when the target uses nearby trees or objects. Along with that, Pounce now has some incoming manual control to attack while latching. Latching on to players only causes a small amount of consistent damage, but allows players to tap/hold the primary attack button to do extra raw damage, or also tap/hold the secondary attack button to deal no raw damage, but high bleeding damage. Both actions spend stamina, but allows for more dynamic combat, giving players more control over what type of damage they're dealing to pounce victims. With this, bucking has become significantly more important for the victim and has received some major attention to prevent it from being an unfun war of attrition. Lastly, some additional adjustments were sorry about that. Right. Lastly, some additional adjustments were made to the patrol zones that should help encourage players to explore the map and should be featured in the upcoming horde test. Aerial programmer, most of my work this month has been done to the Maiasaura. The dinosaur will have the ability to switch between bipedal and quadrupedal stances, which affects its movement in different ways. The most time-consuming part, however, was setting up all the different interactions to support both stances. I also had to reorganize some existing data, or data, I guess. Data. But on the plus side, this also opens up the door to new mechanics, such as sprinting while crouching. The Maiasaura will also have different attacks depending on its stance, which I will be working on next. Other than that, it's mostly been the usual bug fixes, but there were some quite significant balance changes as well. For one, the Carnotaurus has been made slightly smaller, which has an effect on its weight, which should feel more appropriately located within the roster while its speed is still being evaluated. I also updated the Ceratosaurus's bacterial bite, which now takes into account the relative size of the two dinosaurs and also how much bacteria you have available. This has made it extremely effective against small target animals near its weight class, which has led to some interesting new space for the Ceratosaurus. Amarok, programmer, focus for me this month has been moving some of our smaller scavengers to a more robust and visually appealing system that allows more complex interactions. There are some new interactions coming to the world that involve this system, including some sound traps that will give away careless players. Psittacosaurus has Psittacosaurus has received a few behavioral changes and bug fixing based on QA testing, with the hope to include it in the upcoming horde test. They have a few burrowing, burrowing. They have a few burrowing locations throughout a few biomes, but it can also be found in some sanctuaries. Lastly, I've made a new Archon tool for internal use and hope to get that into public hands once it's been evaluated and tested. What is an Archon tool? Comment down below if you know what an Archon tool is. I'll probably Google it, but comment down below anyway, because I like seeing you guys talk. Wedge, the sound designer. This month I've been working on more oh, hold on. Let me scroll up so you don't get spoiled. This month I've been working more on refining the Tyrannosaurus sounds. A lot of the sound palette of the calls has been changed, namely a lot of the source sounds being used for the core elements. Instead of relying almost solely on animal sounds, I started working with recording and processing new source from non-literal sounds, recording metal screeches and groans, glass squeals and moans, etc. This took a fair bit of experimenting to find the right source, which, once found, is then blended with the animal's elements to help these sources sound more organic, as well as additional processing to give them a vocal quality, such as modulated resonant filtering and tremolo. Tremolo? Specifically for each call, these are the main changes that have been made. Injected more dynamics and movement into the broadcast so it has more inconsistencies and is not just a flat note, as well as improved the mix of different layers. Mix improvements and more variations of the alternate broadcast, adding a distinct chord to the generic call over the chunky gurgles and groans that it slowly consisted of previously. Reworked the danger call, reducing the amount of noise that was cluttering the mix from breath and roar layers, as well as creating a more unique chord to the sound which will be easily identifiable. Worked on blending the layers of the attract call better. Additionally, some of its attacks and idols have also had edits made, making them tighter and removing undesirable elements, and more adjustments have been made to the attenuations. Refining how they travel and checking at various distance ranges to make sure it sounds appropriate. A custom attenuation setup has been added for the broadcast, which has a separate power layer to help give it a terrifying impact and crunch even at distance without other breathy and growly elements audible at distance. It's fun. Tapwing 2D artist. This month I got to work on some edits for Elder Diabloceratops by Paeosaurus and the juvenile hatchling concepts for Osteoraptor. The direction for the little Ostros was to go in the opposite direction of the long and sleek adults, design-wise, and make the younger versions progressively more rounder and fluffier the closer to hatchling you get. Needless to say, baby birds were a big inspiration, mainly that of fowls as well as some songbirds. So you get to see the little hatchling right here, big fluff ball, and the juvenile just starting to grow the feathers. On the flip end, the cute fluffy dinosaurs, I've been doing some additional work on the Gen 1 customization, including some close-ups and extra detailing of the alternate head variations, which is not showing, unfortunately. But that's okay. What? It's not showing some of the... Maybe I need to do the thing. I'll refresh and see if it loads, guys. Sorry. Don't look at my money. Thanking you. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Now we're working. So we got the really ugly guy. I'm not really digging this whole setup right here, to be honest, but whatever floats your boat, I guess. Alright, and now we get to see the Triceratops right here. Brian Animator. Another busy month of animation. Been hard at work on a number of dinosaurs. Triceratops sparring is really coming along. I've recently completed the horn locking, and it is really impressive how it really is impressive how solidly two Triceratops lock together when sparring, as opposed to how freely a Diabloceratops could move. So you get like the horn lock right here, and I imagine they start shoving and everything like that. Also been working on getting Oceraptor finalized and ready for animation. This rig has a lot of moving parts, but it's all come together, and a few people on the animation team are already working with it to get its list of animations done. A few of the other animals we've been working on, like Triceratops, Maiasaura, or Diabloceratops, have been in Legacy and have had some animations we can reuse, but Oceraptor is different in that it has a whole new skeleton and everything has to be remade from scratch. So you guys remember the old the air conditioner videos where he would first play as Oceraptor and pounce on people? This is what it looks like now. It's got a new skeleton, new wing structures, new face, new claws, everything. Lastly, Tyrannosaurus has been featured heavily in my current workload, while getting its more advanced locomotion animations completed as we continue to polish the sparring and life stages. So I wonder if the T-Rex gets some sparring. That'd be pretty cool. Hypno QA lead. QA has been spending a good amount of time on balancing testing over the balance testing over the past month. Below are just some of the many areas we've been looking at. One of our main focuses was testing the new pounce changes. Being able to switch between pounce slots while holding on to your target has been proving extremely useful in combat, allowing the user to avoid having to leap off a cliff because your target positioned themselves on the edge of it. Having the ability to also pick between raw damage or more bleed with the different mouse buttons has also been expanded. Has also expanded the utility of the attack. Need to bring down something around your size down faster? Focus on the raw damage attack. Target too big to bring down quickly? Focus on using bleed attack to keep the pressure up with your pack. Ceratosaurus now takes into account its own and its target's weights when applying bacteria through its bite. This change alone has shaken up its combat prowess, allowing it to more quickly cause smaller species to vomit while larger ones to take additional bites. This change will be even more obvious when we get our apexes in, as the Ceratosaurus won't be able to make them vomit in a few bites, solidifying its place in the ecosystem. Ultimately, it is still one of the smaller carnivores on the roster. Tackling onto Will's highlighted the new environmental and attack sounds for Dilophosaurus and Troodon. Their envenomation mechanic has also received their sweetest sounds, including ambient vocals from hallucinations. This gives the effect of a whole new intensity as the player now feels like they're constantly surrounded even when they're not. This has been very enjoyable to witness in playtesting as people are much more paranoid than before. Night Vision has been very well received by the QA team and is undoubtedly the best iteration we've had so far. I believe this new system will finally put an end to the case of people playing with night vision on constantly, as having it enabled during the day doesn't give the player any advantage, while still giving them a massive advantage at night. As well as this, I've tested it against Gamma to see the difference, and the results have been very promising. I believe players won't even feel the need to increase their Gamma anymore because of how well it works. QA8 has been running combat tests at night, and the new system makes the difference between nocturnal and diurnal creature much more apparent, while still giving all playables an enjoyable playing experience. For the past few months, QA has also been hard at work cracking down on bug finding, which has led to the discovery of some very strange issues. Pteranodon AI has decided the most efficient way to take off is by burrowing their way through a tree first. I don't know why people are saying names when I'm recording. That rocks. But that's okay. Hopefully you guys don't hear it. Why is this taking so long to unload? Why is it? So you get to see this silly little... Whoa! Don't know why I changed that. Animal AI seem to have grown tired of being endlessly hunted and are rising up against dinosaur players. Be on the lookout for each other. Beware, the infamous Landcroc returns with its new dodge ability. Last but not least, here's one for the Maiasaura. Man, I really wish this thing was not awful. Yeah, let's try it again in better graphics. Anyway, Kitten Producer. Yet another month that has zipped on by. There's so much going on right now, I don't know where to begin. Since I've got a Maiasaura trying to kick me in the face at the moment, I'll drop some content instead of writing a lengthy post. Okay, sorry about that. So you get to see the animation of it kicking behind it while it's bipedal. The animation team has been hard at work cranking out these animals that you should start seeing more of in the not so distant future. There's a lot of change incoming. Changes to pretty much every species in the game, changes to the environment, changes to night vision, changes to ability, etc. There's also going to be some animation blending changes that may not make it into the next Horde test, but will likely make an appearance shortly thereafter. Here's a sampling of some of the skin work that's been done for the animals, including the tertiary skin for Tenontosaurus. The other tertiary? Anyway, skins have been created and should be making their way too. So you get to see Tenontosaurus right here. And right here, Parasaurolophus with a beautiful blue coloration here on the back and the ribs and under the tail right there and the crests. You get to see the backside right here with the tail. It's so weird that the blue does not go up to here. I think that would probably be a lot better instead of under here. Personally, that's what I'm thinking at least. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so we have the Parasite. Looks really good. We have a new pattern, it looks like, on the face, along with the sides right here. Very beautiful looking. Quite like it. Very cool. And we get Baryonyx, one of my most hyped playables. Not the hyped. Protoceratops holds that.
Probably.
I'm very excited for Protoceratops, but you get to see the gnarly looking claws right here. The thin, not crocodile at all like snout, more like heron really. Because for some reason Jurassic World has it as a crocodile with scoots and everything, which doesn't make any sense, but it's okay. And we have some beautiful blue patterning right here. A lightish blue. A faded blue, I should say. You get to see the powerful legs right here.
I guess so.
And our first look at a Quetzalcoatlus skin. Look at that. You see the red coloration of the throat and the wings and the chest right here. And the crest is beautiful. Look at that. Not really a fan of how it cuts off right here, but that's okay. Man, look at that. That is so beautiful. I love it. And the model doesn't look that bad. So I wonder if they're going to add fluff to it pretty soon. And we get our first official... I believe this is the third skin for Spinosaurus, actually. But look at that. You get the red right here and the oranges. Very beautiful. And the yellows along the side. It reminds me of the Jurassic Park Spinosaurus a little bit. And the tail looks like it got a lot more bumpy and scoot-like. The head looks like it was definitely altered which I'm happy about. I did not like the old Spinosaurus head. You get a better look at it. Additionally, here's some animations for the Osteraptor as the animation team starts knocking it out. You can expect it to be every bit as energetic as some of you may remember it being from Legacy, but in a fully realized fashion. This is an Omniraptor in sport mode, but be careful, since it's also more delicate. And you get to see the drinking animation right here. I love how it tucks its wings into its chest. That's very cool. The pickup right here. Is it picking up an egg or a piece of meat? I'm not sure. The sit down. Very beautiful. The turns. You get to see both sides.
I've been doing this for 2 years.
Very cool. And rounding out, here are some animations for Trike and Rex. So I think this is supposed to be a threaten, maybe? Very cool looking. I love the eye spots. Oh, I'm a sucker for eye spots on ceratopsians. They're very beautiful. What looks like some sort of hit. You get to see a really savage looking bite from T-Rex right here. And then what looks like an eating animation where it digs its foot into the carcass and then just pulls out a chunk right there. Look. Very cool looking. There's still so much left to do, but we're getting ever closer to our goal. We set out to improve upon the concepts present in the legacy version of the game, and those planted seeds are bearing fruit. More work is being done on the humans as well to get them to a place that will allow them to fully function in the game concretely. As always, be good to one another and see you next month. So, very exciting looking dev blog so far. Sorry you guys had to hear all that background noise in the back, but that's totally fine. Hopefully you didn't catch all of it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.